Morning, guys. So it is Thursday, and I am late for my update. Didn't do one last week either, wasn't feeling it, but it is what it is, right? I usually start with the weight. My weight. My weight is such a bad indicator of my progress at this time. It's starting to get repetitive and not really useful. When I reached goal and I was, my mindset was, into gaining muscle, I was like, oh, well, that's going to be a good way to measure it is, I could just measure how much weight I gain. If I'm consistently working out, 5-6 times a week like I am, then I should see the scale go up. Well, that's not the way it works, folks. What I found through, looking around and just my own experiences, well, first of all, you don't gain more than a pound or maybe 2 pounds a month in muscle mass. And that's only with a generous calorie surplus. So that's really hard to see on the scale. So if you're just doing sort of a moderate surplus, or maybe an unknown surplus like me, like, I eat a lot, but I don't know, I don't really have a good handle on how much I burn regularly, so it's just not something that's useful to really look at. I mean, it's been around the same range for me, within 1 or 2 pounds, so, I mean, it is what it is, right? Let's see, what has been going on? I went to go see my doctor, it was almost 2 weeks ago now, for my family doctor, to see the results of my blood test that I took a week or two prior. And all's good. My blood pressure is still really kind of low, like too low, maybe. Don't really know. It's like 100/60, and my resting pulse was like 49 or something like that. So, it's good, but and I had previously dropped my blood pressure medication. I had halved it, like a month or two ago, and then now that was like without it for like 3 weeks. So I obviously don't need that. I don't need high blood pressure medication. It's still a little low. So my doctor wanted me to come off my diuretic as well, because that affects your blood pressure also. I've tried this in the past and I gained like 5 pounds like inside of a couple days. So we're not actually going to come off it, but I did half my dosage. And that hasn't been going too well. I half my dosage for about 5 days, and my legs started to hurt and swell up. So then I went back to regular dosage for like 2 days, and now I'm back to like half the dosage. So I'm just gonna have to, try and do it like, with my half dose plus as needed. So yeah, that's been causing me to get on the scale a lot too, which adds to my frustration with the scale. But that's kind of what I got to do, because it's not. I've been on diuretics for a very long time, so I guess it does take my body some time to adjust to it. So yeah. Everything else, my blood test was pretty good. I had taken a blood test like 3 months ago at my bariatric surgeon's office, and I was low in red blood count, but my iron was okay. They said, you need more iron. I'm like, that's me. But now on this recent blood test, my red blood count was fine, but my iron was low. So definitely need to have some iron. So I've been having my iron. The other thing my doctor checked was I told him I'd been kind of struggling to gain weight again. So he did like a whole bunch of tests. Everything was pretty normal, like thyroid function and all that stuff was pretty normal. My testosterone was slightly below normal, but I guess testosterone levels really fluctuate a lot, so it's kind of hard to tell. So before we do any medication or intervention, they're gonna like have another blood test or two just to see like what my variation is like. So yeah, so that's that. What else do I have? I haven't been on my bike, which is kind of distressing me. What happened was my last bike ride, I tried to fix my bike. Because my the biggest thing with my bike is my front derailleur doesn't work. So I tried to restring the wire and lube up the gear thingamabob, but I seem to have done a pretty poor job because it doesn't last long. Like on my last bike ride, I was able to get it so I could use the 2 higher gears. Then halfway through a bike ride, it got stuck in the there we go. It got stuck in the middle gear, and that's about how I felt about it because that sucks. So I had to actually pull off the road and pick up my tools, and so just that whole dealing with the bike issue kind of detracts from me wanting to get on my bike. But I really need to get back on my bike, so tomorrow I'll just force myself to go and bike somewhere. I don't know where, somewhere. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I've just been having a rough week. Not really weight loss sort of related, just dealing with being poor and not having a lot of social stuff to do. So that's just been yeah. So that's really been a struggle this week because it's kind of been frustrating because, as I mentioned, I think in my last video, I've been trying to save up for a bike, but I don't think it's going to be possible just because, like this month, for example, is one of the 4 times a year where I get a little extra because of my tax refund. So I had planned to put that all away for a bike, and then by the time spring came around, I'm all set. I'd have a really big bike. But I wasn't able to put any of it away, so if I can't do it this month, it's probably not going to happen. so that kind of sucks. Yeah, I did go to the social services place today to see if they had any programs that could maybe help me, earn a little bit of money or get some extra supplementation somewhere. They said I probably could get supplementation for my protein powders and vitamins, which they told me a year ago that I couldn't, which is kind of annoying, because now it's going to be sort of a harder case to say that I need supplementation because, I'm eating so much and I've already lost weight, but that's why I need to eat more because I don't want to lose any more weight, right? But it's hard for most people to understand that. So losing weight, I could live a lot better on my lower income because I didn't need to eat 1,000 calories a day doesn't cost very much. But when you're trying to eat 3,500 a day and do that in a healthy and good way, it's really kind of difficult. Yeah, so I have to get a letter from the doctor with his estimated costs, and I have to go to another local organization that sometimes help people out and get them to write a letter saying that they can't help me, and what else? There's something else I have to stuff like bank statements and all that kind of stuff. So it's a real kind of headache, but it's just to see. I also, I got papers to fill out to look for a part-time job too. So scared to do that because I don't want to lose my benefits, but can't not do things because you're scared, right? Let's see. The other thing also on my Facebook, I made I vague posted yesterday. I didn't really mean to, but just because I didn't want to get into it, because yesterday I had an ultrasound to look at my liver and surrounding areas, just sort of a checkup kind of thing. I don't have the actual results because I don't actually get to see my gastroenterologist until next month, but from what the doctor who does the scanning, from what he told me is that I had a gallstone pre-WLS, like I've had it for 10 years or more, and initially it caused me a lot of problems. I had all those gallbladder attacks and stuff like that. But then once I changed my diet and started eating a lot more healthy, it just kind of didn't bother me anymore. So there wasn't need to do anything about it. And I think the last CT scan that I had, I think it was in 2010, something like that. It was about 3 centimeter gallstone. So there's no baby gallstone. You're not passing this one. It was a big one, and I started on taking ursodiol to try and either reduce its size or prevent it growing any larger. It seemed to help. Let's put it that way. Apparently that gallstone has blocked off my gallbladder. Like the opening to my gallbladder is totally blocked off by this. And it's not inflamed. It doesn't really cause me much discomfort. I mean, a little bit of discomfort, but nothing, amongst all my other pains that I have in my body, it's a minor one. But the result of that blockage is that my gallbladder has completely collapsed. Like so much so that they couldn't find it. Like I was getting an ultrasound for almost an hour by 3 people. So yeah, gonna have to have something said about that, obviously, because even though my bile ducts and everything are all clear, yeah, it's kind of a situation where it could develop into something bad. So I imagine when I see my doctor next month, he's going to be scheduling for surgery. So I'm not looking forward to that. But what can you do, right? But the funny story is that so I'm on this table for a long time. I go to the hospital that we go to, like many hospitals, I guess it's a teaching hospital. So I go in there and there's a student. I don't know if she was a resident, but student, and she does her scan, and she kept on asking me, like, are you sure you didn't have your gallbladder removed? and she was asking about what I ate, because part of the gallbladder is that it does it contracts to expel the bile stuff when you eat stuff that's really fatty. So she was like asking, what did you eat this morning, and all this kind of stuff, and sure you didn't have removed? And I'm like, I don't think I had removed. I mean, I asked the doctor when I had my stomach removed to take the gallbladder out, but he said he wouldn't. So she did her scan, and the resident was there observing her, and then he did his scan, and he's still like, and then finally the doctor, the head guy of the scanning department came in and did his scan, and he was like, aha, there it is. It's right under that huge egg-sized stone that you have. But because of how my liver has kind of shrunk and shriveled up into a little prune, it was really hard to see. Actually, in order to get a good view of it, I actually had to stand up and kind of contort my body and stomach muscles and everything else so that he could get a good view of it. So yeah. But it was kind of funny though, because he was talking to me, and he was like, "You lost so much weight," and his first thing was like, just the surgery? I'm like, no, it wasn't. I mean, I lost over 200 pounds in a year. It wasn't just the surgery. Um, you know, he's like, yeah, I guess you're right. And he was asking me about, stuff that I ate and my fitness routine and everything. He seemed kind of like he was really genuinely interested in the process that I went through. But then at the end, like when he's talking with the other people there, he made a comment. What was the comment? It was like, I don't know, he had like this big grin. It's like, you don't usually see this to the other ones. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was kind of put off. I was like, what do you mean? You don't see someone with excess skin like that? Kind of thing. And he's like, no. He was like laughing. He's like, no, you don't usually see someone who's lost so much weight and is so muscular. And I was like, oh, well, that's okay then. I thought that was pretty funny. You always expect some people make comments, and you initially go to like the worst possible case, and he was actually, amazed and giving me a compliment, with his comment. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, 16 minutes, and that's what happens. It gets to 16 minutes when I skip a week. But yeah, so I'll try and cut this short. Today, back to the gym. I didn't do any fitness at all yesterday because I was really sore. Like I said, ultrasound for like an hour, and rubbing into my ribs and insides and everything. I was really sore. So last night I took some pain meds. Yay, pain meds! And I slept like a log. And I carved up this morning. I'm ready to go. I'm just waiting for my water delivery to get come, and then I am going to the gym and I'm going to kill it. Chest day is a fun day. Chest and back and a little shoulders. Usually what I do for my chest day. So yeah. So anyone, get out there, be strong, guys. Get your fitness in. Enjoy the day, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.